This is a public service announcement for Bernie Sanders volunteers. Bernie's not dead. If you've heard the media the past few days, you've heard them say that New York was a death blow to Bernie. They say our campaign is over, that Bernie cannot win the nomination. This is a lie. Bernie may be down, but he's not out. He still has a viable path to become President Sanders. And here's why. Number one, New York was nothing near a death blow. We lost 31 delegates in New York. You want those delegates back? Well, here they are. Bernie just won 24 delegates from states that already voted. How? Delegates are given out at conventions, usually at the county level. Clinton supporters didn't bother to show up. But our campaign got our delegates to show and more. New York, a death blow? How about a net loss of 7 delegates? That's child's play. Number two, we only lost New York because independent voters weren't allowed to vote. We win 60 to 80% of independent voters, and these people were all locked out of voting in New York. So the Bernie support is out there. They're just not allowed to vote. In New York, about 1.8 million votes were cast in the Democratic primary. There were 3.2 million independents unable to vote. Think they would have won it for us? Absolutely. Number three, besides this, there was ridiculous and illegal voter suppression in New York. How many votes separated Bernie from Hillary? Less than 300,000 votes. And how many people were registered Democrats, then illegally switched away from Democrat so they couldn't vote? More than 300,000. And 123,000 of them were in Brooklyn, one of America's most liberal places and Bernie's home borough. Number four, Bernie's by far the most popular candidate in America. His rallies routinely draw 20,000 people. Hers draw a few hundred. According to Huffington Post, 49% of Americans have a favorable view of Bernie, while only 39% like Hillary. This means Bernie can be a stronger general election candidate. Not to mention Hillary's corruption and pending FBI indictment. The FBI official heading the case wants her indicted, and he doesn't care what Obama or the White House think. With this baggage and Bernie's surging popularity, Bernie could be the most electable candidate the Democrats have. Number five, Bernie still has huge support among Americans. He's beaten Hillary in many nationwide polls. He's also overtaken her gigantic fundraising machine, even though Hillary raised tens of millions of dollars from Wall Street, even though she funneled another tens of millions through 32 state Democratic parties so that 1% could donate even more to her campaign. Bernie has still raised more money. Just recently, he hit a total mark of $183 million raised to $182 million for Hillary. Number six, and this is the last one. We will need 56 to 58% of the vote to win a majority of pledged delegates and claim the nomination. This is a long shot, I understand, but it is possible. We are down 200 to 250 delegates, with 1,400 delegates to go. I don't know how many of you are sports fans, but these next few weeks, they can be like Elway's Drive in '87. They could be like U.S. hockey versus the USSR in 1980. They could be like the Red Sox Yankees in 2004. Don't listen to the media. For our own good, we volunteers should tune them out. Crazy comebacks never happen by watching the scoreboard and saying we can't win. Comebacks happen by putting our heads down and working as hard as we can to earn every delegate. This Tuesday, there are about 384 pledged delegates for the taking on April 26th. If we are to keep a chance of winning, we need to do well here. It'll be tough for us. Every state voting has closed primaries, and the deadlines to register have already passed, except in Connecticut. If you are unregistered or independent in Connecticut, you can vote for Bernie if you join the Democratic Party before noon on Monday. You do this by going to your town hall in person. If you know anyone in Connecticut, text them after this video. I know the road is tough, but now is not the time to be discouraged. This election is being stolen by rigged party rules that keep independents from voting and are kicking out loyal Democrats. Let's take it back. The man himself, Bernie Sanders, has called for all volunteer hands on deck. If you can make calls, if you can send texts, if you can enter data, if you can donate money, Bernie needs you now, not a week from now. So put on your pump-up music, listen to a Bernie speech, and remind yourself why you came here in the first place. I want to see what this group of volunteers can do with our backs against the wall. Let's get out there and win an election.